Hello, my friends. It is Hondo, and welcome back to the Knights of the Nerd Republic. You know what to do, and stay profitable.
The Nerd Academy podcast is released weekly at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, available on our website at www.thenerdacademypodcast.com and wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also help support the show by going to patreon.com/The Nerd Academy podcast, where every donation allows us to bring you more exciting content every week.
Hello there, and welcome to the 100th episode of Knights of the Nerd Republic. Officially the 100th. I wasn't counting the May the 4th special that we did with Damage. Again, great time, great interview with Damage. They were great. Go check out their new song, Double Take. Loving it. But that was just kind of like a special episode. It wasn't officially episode 100. But this, I wanted the Lego Star Wars review to be episode 100. So this is episode 100 of Knights of the Nerd Republic. I'm your host, Jared the Dark Jedi. I'm joined by Spence the Mando Simpson.
That's right. We keeping it a whole 100. Don't got you, I got none. Because Kendrick Lamar is releasing a new album on Thursday, and I've been thinking about him a lot.
Yes. I almost just made our thing like Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, The Heart Part 5. But we have the lore keeper himself, the one-eyed knight, Connor Chikiti.
Hello there, everyone. 100 episodes. Kind of wild.
Unreal.
It is kind of wild, isn't it?
Wild.
Isn't it? If you figure we're on 120 of Teen App Main. This is episode 100 for KNR. We're on 25, 26 for Movie Club, about 20 for Campus Life. We just haven't been able to do a Campus Life in forever. And today was episode 50 for number one contender. So you put all that together, we've churned out a lot of content since 2020.
We sure have.
We really have.
Yeah.
We absolutely have.
You sound so wearied.
That is the sound of a man who's slowly
Honestly,
being chipped away by the content machine.
I'm going to introduce first before I actually do want to acknowledge the concept of vacation, because that actually is something I wanted to talk about. We have the trivial keeper, the question writer, the man who set me down a path of ultimate revenge. We got Eli from Star Wars in a Galaxy.
What's going on, everyone? Hi, Connor. Hi, Spencer. I don't talk to people who haven't answered 5-pointers.
What's
You're
going on,
so
Eli?
funny.
This savagery is unreal. Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, maybe I'll walk out of here tomorrow and you never see me again. That's really what I want to do.
Anyway.
Yeah. Hi, Jared. What's going on, everyone?
I'm not sure.
Excited to be here. I didn't know it was
Yeah,
100.
no, you
This is
have
great.
like again. You have answered just as many 5s as I have correctly. The only
right.
difference is I was the one who had to handle that shit because I read The Rise of Kylo Ren. But before we get any deeper into that, we do have a big event coming the way of Star Wars in a Galaxy. It'll be over there. It is the Knights of the Nerd Republic Civil War. Me versus Connor versus Spencer, while I take revenge on Connor for being a traitorous whelp and on this guy for leading us into ruin and not carrying his weight. I'm going to break kayfabe because kayfabe is, I'm going to say it's more fun on Twitter. But we're talking about Lego Star Wars. It's kind of hard for me to fly into a psychotic rage for fun at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited for a very sporting showing from everybody.
It's going to be fun.
There's going to be a lot of fun. When's the episode coming out, Eli?
We're currently planning it for May 18th. So
May 18th.
Sweet.
Sweet.
I
2
have to
days after
say,
my hernia
up front-
surgery.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have to say, I'm thinking about this match less as a three-way triple threat Civil War episode and more of like I get a sideline seat to watch you and Connor go at it, and occasionally get to throw out some answers as well. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
If I'm being honest, I've legitimately forgotten about this happening. That's where my
So-
head's at right now.
It's the only thing I've been thinking about, Chiquiti.
Here's my
Got your
thing.
number, you one-eyed son of a bitch.
I know you
Here's
have my
my thing.
number.
This is the danger with these two, and this is the danger with any of us. Like specifically, like talking in Schmodown terms, there's always the chance for anybody to pull an Irwin and completely
Yeah.
forget the match exists, but nail it anyway. Like Jacob before our Radio Rebellion stream, he came in last, but he still he barely came in last on that stream, and he literally texted me an hour before. He was like, "What's going on here?" Like there is the complete possibility that somebody could come in, know the right things at the right time. You know.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Other little bit of housekeeping since this
I
is
kind
a
of just
Star
want to
Wars
see the
show.
rematch between Scotty and Jared. I just want to see it. It needs to happen. He
You
deserves
know what,
it.
Connor? Me too.
So would we.
So
Yeah.
would I.
Yeah.
I would be the first in that room, and I've talked to Scotty many times about this. Pretty much every chance I've gotten about this, and he has given me the liberal estimate, like the closest it could possibly be. He's told me is 5 years.
He keeps saying that. He also keeps saying if I beat everyone in the Goon Squad. He keeps
Oh
saying
my
if I
God, if
basically
you beat
beat
everyone.
in our entire group chat.
So basically, you beat everybody in the Goon Squad, and you get a #1 contender match.
Yeah. No, I mean, whoever the last Goon standing is my #1 contender shot.
Okay, yeah.
Alexander wept, for there were no more worlds to conquer.
There were no more goons to slay.
I'm convinced because Scotty has Alex Damon's phone number
Oh man.
because they've worked
Yeah,
on stuff
yeah.
together. They're smart enough to not work exclusively in Twitter DMs. There is a part of me that is convinced that if I do make my way through Michael, through Connor, through Alden, through Jerry, that just to fuck with me, he will add Alex to that group chat
So here's the thing.
and just be like, hey, you got one more fucko. And then I'm like, what am I supposed to do now? What am I supposed to do now? Play Star Wars Explained, you son of a bitch? I will.
So here's the
So
thing.
it's not like I'm going to say no.
Scotty can't do that right now. As long as Alex is a competitor in the Schmodown, he cannot do that right now.
I know. Oh, yeah. I know that much. I'm mostly being facetious. But you
The
can't
minute
tell me that
Alex
if
gets out of the
Scotty
Schmodown,
could,
I can
would.
totally see Scotty absolutely doing that.
Yeah.
Like,
As Wise Man
second.
once said, if you need to fight someone stronger than you, find someone stronger than them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm man enough to say that I'd get sunned. I think I'd put up a good fight. I'd take it to round 3 probably. I'm not.
Alex
bad.
is a specifically dangerous one because it's not just about his channel and his performance in Schmodown, but it's about Dragon Con.
Yeah.
This is all canon, and he got second in sudden death last year in Dragon Con. He got, I think, second or third in sudden death in Dragon Con the year before.
Yeah. Like I said, I won't get absolutely crane kicked, but it's not.
It's
No,
not
I'm
beyond
not-
Scotty. It's not beyond Scotty.
No. Like I said, I don't fear him, but I'm too smart to not be nervous.
I
around
fear
him.
no man, but that thing, it scares me.
Scares me.
Scares me.
Is that a TF2 reference?
I just saw that
Please
meme
tell me
popping
it
up
was.
fucking everywhere.
It's just a really common meme, and I have no idea what its origin
Yeah, but it is from Team Fortress 2. That is its
Oh
origin.
My gosh. I didn't think anyone but me remembered that incredible series of YouTube promos for TF2.
No, it's literally just because it's been memed to death.
Before we jump into today's episode, quick shout out from our lovely sponsors, sundaysbloodymary.com/shop. You guys know I love the spicy Caesar mix. It is my jam. The award-winning spicy Caesar mix. Got to put that respect on it every time. If the spiciness isn't your fare, they have a mild mix and a vegan mix if you like to avoid animal product. They also have some garnishes like rim salt and pickled garnishes like okra, dilly beans, and asparagus, and a cool merch line, including their new tomato heart hat. So go check all that out and use code TNAP at checkout. You get 10% off your order, and you help out your favorite nerds while you do it.
You do.
We've been fucking around for 10 minutes now.
11.
Is there any more housekeeping items?
I didn't even plug the celebration live streams.
Oh, yeah. As Connor just said, is that it for housekeeping? We have more?
Yeah, no, we have. I'm
More
going to
did
be
you
live
say?
during Star Wars Celebration. All 4 days I will not be present at the convention, unfortunately. But I will be covering the panels, breaking news, and trailers live during the duration of the convention. So how it's going to work, here's the plan. I have had a chance to debrief you on my plan for celebrations. This is news for Spencer as well. We're professionals around here. I'm gonna be live during the day, like I said, covering everything happening at the convention. I'm gonna take a break for an hour or so, and then we're gonna be live again to do like a recap. You know, do the cliff notes, discuss everything we've seen, and like I said, throughout the live streams during the day. We'll be having call-ins from the celebration floor, and then hopefully while we are doing our live recap show for each night, we will also hear from our friends who, like I said, will be on the convention floor. Jerry, Scotty, Alden, Bill, Trey, Eli. I was saving you for last because you're here.
Okay.
I don't even forget you. And many, many more. So stay tuned for all that. Also, thank you to Daddy Pete Fletzer of Around the Galaxy for the kick-ass thumbnail for the live streams. So without any further ado, when I first booted up Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, I really thought it was a grand slam. No notes, perfect. The more I have played it, the more I have a lot of mixed opinions about it. And I will be up front, and I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody else thinks. I don't think this game is finished. I think in many ways this is a busted game. I love it, and I want to make that clear. I love it. I've been having a lot of fun with it. The fact that this is not some type of like online competitive game gives it a lot of leeway for a lot of the flaws I have with it. But for the most part, I think this, and again, another thing I want to address, just because I have issues with game design and things like that, does not hand wave the really, really bad crunch that was happening at Traveler Tales Games. For those of you who are not aware, crunch is a business practice in the video game industry where basically where they basically work their employees to death. Every game studio is guilty of it. Most games have a crunch period. It is a dark spot on the gaming industry that most developers are aware they could remove from the equation, but choose not to. And while I think this game needed a couple more months. If it ended up being a year to reasonably do all the work that was necessary, I would have been okay with that. So want to make that clear. Big disavowing of crunch culture in video game design. It's not good for anybody. There's countless people who devote their lives to doing this, who end up, falling out of love with their passion because it becomes a hellish slog. So that out of the way, I'm excited to pick everybody else's brain about this. Eli, as our guest, I give you the floor first. Overall thoughts before we get
Yeah.
into it.
I've been seeing a lot of people's opinions about this game, and first of all, I just want to say that this game is massive. I mean, it really is. It's huge. And I have been playing it for weeks now, and I'm at about so I made a decision after I completed the story. I'm not an 100% completionist person. I don't do that usually. I like to finish the game and usually I'm done with it. But I've decided this is going to be one of the first games that I actually play to 100% completion. I've been playing it for a few weeks now. I am at 50% completion. That just showcases how incredibly massive this game is. I think I might even be a little under that, but like around 50%. But yeah, my thing, like honestly, a lot of the criticisms that you have with the game are for me reflective of the Star Wars, like how Lucasfilm and Disney treats the gaming division of Star Wars as a whole for me, and not necessarily this game's problem. Like for me, it feels like, could this game have used a bit more time? Absolutely could have used a bit more time, but like, you see this game, you see a game of this caliber size. You saw Fallen Order 3 years ago. You saw Battlefront 2 a few years before that.
God, it's been 3 years since Fallen Order came out.
Yep. And
Oh my
you're
God,
like,
I'm gonna vomit.
You're like Disney, a multi-billion-dollar corporation, produced 3 AAA games in the last 5 years. Really? And I try to stay, and again, I'm the more positive on our show about Disney's acquisition of Star Wars because I mostly like it. But what are they doing with video games?
I'm inclined to agree with you on that.
EA's exclusivity deal didn't no one any favors.
Yeah,
and thankfully we're
That's
out of
true.
that.
That's very true. EA did have a stranglehold on Star Wars for the lion's share of that.
Yeah,
and that I mean, credit where credit is due. A lot of those games were under the EA banner, so there is that. But
yeah. I think it could have used more time, but I also think that like there was a disconnect for me, and I'm not trying to disavow the crunch time in any way, shape, or means. But hearing that the game got delayed so many times and that there was crunch time makes me wonder what management was doing all that time.
Yeah. Well, from what I understand, one of the main reasons why the game got delayed multiple times was that they were trying to work out online multiplayer. And they couldn't. And again, I could be incorrect with this, but from what I understand and from what I've read, online multiplayer was this impossible to crack issue. They just couldn't figure it out to save their lives. So from what I understand, so much of the time they had at their disposal was spent just pushing this boulder up a hill that they eventually just went, okay, it's couch co-op and that's it.
Yeah.
We can't do this. And then it turned into a mad dash to finish the game once they realized that this specific feature was never going to be in the cards.
Yeah. Again, moving on from my negative thought, because I don't want to focus a lot on what I don't like about the game.
Yeah.
There's like the amount that I don't like about this game is this big. The amount of what I do like about this game can reach feet and meters and meters up in the air, because because you can see that this game had so much love poured into it. You can see that the developers, beyond anything else, are fans. You can see that they have this great reverence and love for the saga, and I love how they with all the movies. But I'll throw out some love for the sequel, how they treat the sequel trilogy, because it's so new and because of the vitriol directed towards them. There's that line from Taika Waititi in the
It doesn't
documentary.
take itself seriously, but it does believe in itself.
There we go. It doesn't take itself seriously. It doesn't believe in itself. What is it? It has fun with the material. It doesn't make fun of the material, which I think is really key. But one of my favorite things about, for example, the Rise of Skywalker campaign. I've seen people whining and complaining about Snoke clones on the internet for 3 years. And then what does LEGO Star Wars do with it? They make backwards Snoke. They make disco Snoke. They make intellectual Snoke. They make all of these different random weird clone Snoke experiments gone wrong, which is just so which is so much more funny.
And Jar Jar in a back the tank. Shouts out.
And Jar Jar, yeah. Which is exponentially more fun and more interesting than all of the, well, why didn't we get and it was just it made my heart soar to see the Snow clones, because that was just legitimately so funny.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point, Eli. It's like the Lego game didn't seem like a parody of the Skywalker Saga. It seemed like we know all the jokes that are out there. We know all the memes. We know all the stuff, and we're gonna tongue in cheek have a little bit of fun with it. Like, one of my favorite side missions so far was going around Mos Eisley asking civilian witnesses
who shot first,
whether Greedo or Han shot first.
Yep.
I haven't had a chance to do that one yet, but I know it's out there.
And I finally did the one that you were talking about, and you were like, this is mildly racist, I think is what you said. The side mission where the Kaminoans mistake Yariel Poof.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I got the hologram for that on Coruscant, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
The Cormians and the Kaminoan
I haven't done it
racism. Yet. Yeah, that was really weird. That was such a strange mission.
I love space racism so much.
There's so many. You're not building your case well here.
Yeah.
You're not building your case well here.
You know what? I'm going to create a fictitious account, and I'm going to be the one that clips you. I'm going to spread it all over the internet that you're a space racist.
Like I said, it's the joke where, there's the dark timeline, and in the dark timeline, all of the people that I have an academic fascination with, I am sincerely into in the dark timeline. So just actual info warrior Jared is out there somewhere in the multiverse.
In the
multiverse, there is a legitimate Karl Marx worshiper in Jared's body. Anyway.
Yeah. What was I gonna say about but there's so many, honestly, that's actually what I really love about this game. This is not Lego Skywalker Saga is not one game. It's 2 games. It's what you do in the story, and it's the free play. The free play is frankly a completely different game. And the story is great. I have no complaints with the story. The story is awesome. Free play is just like something else. There's just I don't know. I haven't heard anybody else other than me talk about this mission. You might have done it. You might not have. I don't know. Have you guys done the Bosk trampoline mission?
I haven't.
No.
So I was actually on a call with Connor when I was doing this whole thing. And I'm like, wait, so Bosk wants me to smuggle trampolines. Okay. And it ends with a boss fight. So the way you get Bosk, spoilers, but the way you get Bosk is you have to defeat him in a boss battle, but he's bouncing on trampolines on Mustafar. That's the boss battle. It's so incredibly random. It's so ridiculous. By the way, it comes from a long side quest where Aura Singh is accused of stealing holocrons from the Jedi Temple. They tried to recreate a holocron heist, but they just replaced Cad Bane with Aura instead because they had her in the game. Or I was like, hey, you want to come with me? I heard Bosk was trying to steal a bounty hunt of mine. And Bosk is like, no, I wasn't trying to do a bounty hunt. I was trying to do some bouncy fun. And I'm like, oh no.
Goodness.
And I'm like, oh no, they're really doing this. But then they change it so that he's bouncing on trampolines, and you have to fight him bouncing on trampolines on Mustafar. These are all real things that actually happen in this game.
Well, I have, and I think it's weird because I haven't done a lot of side missions. I've done a lot of exploring. I have like traveled the galaxy, but I have not done a lot in the galaxy. One of the missions I did last night actually was right after this. Last night is when I beat Rise of Skywalker. I went through chronological order, beat Rise, and I was like, nah. I just traveled back to Exegol.
Yeah.
Because it was a planet I was the most fascinated by. Again, obviously, anyone who's been paying attention to this channel knows that I love the sequel trilogy, and I'm not someone who's gonna shit all over it, but I wasn't super interested in any of the other planets from the sequels that I haven't gotten to explore yet. Exegol was the only world that you're pretty much on rails for the entire time you're visiting it. In game, in a mission, Takadana, Pisana, Kijimi, like there's a level of exploration you can do that you don't really get to do with Exegol.
Wait,
And
Jared, have you gone back to Kijimi yet?
I've not gone back to Kijimi, no.
Okay. Connor, don't spoil what happens to him when he tries to go back to Kijimi.
I don't know what happens when you try to go back to Kijimi.
You can't.
I haven't done it.
You
yet.
cannot. You can't free play on Kijimi.
Like at all.
At all.
Huh.
The idea is that the planet's gone.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense by
Yeah.
the time you finish it.
Yeah, you can only play it in the level. You cannot do
Okay,
free play.
cool. Yeah.
I hate that.
That's
love
didn't know that?
actually really cool.
I hate it. I love Kijimi.
I think Kijimi might be my least favorite planet in the entire Skywalker saga, like in the movies. No. Anyway,
I can't choose a
but
least favorite.
I went to Exegol and I found this side mission where you have to like find like souvenirs from Palpatine.
Oh yes. Yes, that was one of the first side missions I ever did.
Yeah, insane. And I didn't do it on purpose, but like I loaded in, and because I have all but one stud multiplier on right now, I'm grinding for that last one. So it's just free money for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I went, I have Dark Rain now. And I was like, I just get her for free. And then I picked her. And then I basically accidentally had been playing as Dark Raylo since I beat the game. And didn't realize I was doing it for like a good 10 minutes and went, it's just pathological for me. But yeah, that was fun doing that mission with Empress Rey and
Jedi
Supreme
Ben.
Leader Kylo Ren.
Oh, and Supreme Leader Ren, not Jedi Ben.
Yeah, no, like it was like Dark Raylo, so like both
Okay.
of them.
Okay,
like the
yeah.
zenith
Dark
of the
timeline
dark-sidedness.
Okay.
Yeah, Dark Side Raylo. So it was a fun little mission and it was cool. And like I don't know, I was a little stressed out trying to make sure I got the game beaten to do the review and like the main story that is. And there was a part of me that was like, the second I'm done with this story mode, I'm taking a break from this game. I'm gonna fuck play it anymore. And immediately, like just from Eli talking for a minute, I'm probably going to be up like an hour and a half longer than I should playing the game tonight again.
Well, let me tell you guys where I'm at.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
Yeah,
next for you because
I haven't finished the story mode yet
no,
because you can check my math, but I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying that there are actual thousands of collectibles to get in this game.
Yes,
And
there are thousands.
Because there are over 1,100 Kyber bricks.
Yeah, I was
get
gonna say like
across the
1150
galaxy.
something Kyber bricks. Yeah.
Yeah, from the levels in from free play, there are like 1,100 plus. And so I'm the type of guy who doesn't like to crank through the story mode, crank through the free play, and then all I have left is the galaxy roaming collectible getting.
Yeah.
Because that can be really, really tedious, and it can be really difficult to get through. And
It's
so what I've
gotten
been
like
doing
that for me in the last week. Yeah, I was gonna say it's gotten like that for me in the past week. I gotta say. Yeah.
So what I've been doing, and I've had the game for almost 2 weeks at this point. I think we cranked through a lot of the
So the context for you as well. Spencer has not had a modern console since the Wii,
and I got one just to play this game. I mean, thankfully, this was kind of a godsend here. As soon as I got it, there was this modern Star Wars game bundle on the PlayStation Store. So I also got like all of the deluxe editions of New Battlefront 1, New Battlefront 2, Squadrons, and JFO. So
yeah.
Connor, I'll be playing Jedi Fallen Order probably within the year, finally, because I have a console that can do it. So
Nice.
You will be the first person I talk to whenever I start playing JFO. But anyway, so I've only had the console, had the game for about 2 weeks, and it's been like, where do you start at? For all intents and purposes, you start on Naboo in Oda Gunga for the free play stuff in episode 1. So I spent a lot of time roaming around the Gungan city, and then I would do the next mission, and then that takes you to Mos Espa, and I spent like 3 hours roaming around Mos Espa getting collectibles.
You're doing exactly what I did. Almost exactly what I did at first.
And I came into this review knowing, and I'll be frank with you, the last mission that I played was the speeder bike chase on Endor. That's the most recent. Like, I also did chronologically. That's as far as I've made it. I haven't even finished episode 6 yet, but I wanted to get a lot of experience.
That's still
with
a lot
both.
of game you've played.
And I haven't even finished the story mode. And Eli was at like spot on. I'm at like 38% completion total. And I've been grinding through these Kyber bricks, trying to get as many of them as I can in free play so that I don't have to go back and then do all of it, getting all the characters, getting all the ships and stuff as I'm going as much as I can until I get tired of it. And I'm like, all right, give me some story. But it's a long, long process. I will also say this. To anybody who hasn't played a Lego game since Complete Saga, this is going to seem like a really intimidating, groundbreaking, like, what have they done with my Lego Star Wars games kind of game. My perspective, I played like the Lego Lord of the Rings game, the Lego Hobbit game, the Lego Force Awakens, and the more recent Lego games are a lot like this one. So Jared, what you called me, you were like, I just want to let you know this game is nothing like Complete Saga. Like, there's no cantina, there's no like walk through door number 1 to see, you know, the negotiations, walk through door number 2 to see the pod race, you know, that kind of stuff. You don't even start the first mission until you're in the bongo.
I know, that was like whenever we did our all-nighter.
Yeah,
because I got it, you know, the week of launch, and then I had played it, and I had made it through Revenge of the Sith in like the first day or 2 of its release. And then the next night, you and I sat down. We had an all-nighter where we blasted through. We started at like what?
5.
Yeah, we started like 9:30, 10 p.m.
10:30 maybe?
Around that ballpark, and went up into the end of Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. Which
Like,
I think we wrapped up.
We stopped at level 1 of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, wrapped up at like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And that was with Jared making a beeline from like each point in the story. I was just running around like destroying everything, like and Jared was like, all right, we'll get to the next mission.
Yeah.
But it's a lot like the more recent Lego games. Like Lego Hobbit and Lego Force Awakens had that vibe where you kind of have to manually go from point A to point B, and I really like that. It adds a lot of depth to the game. It adds something to do after you've finished the story mode and the free play, and you get all the collectibles from all the levels. There's a lot left still to do. That was my overall. I really like the game overall. I think Eli said, you can tell that the developers are fans.
Yeah.
You can tell that they poured not only their efforts but their hearts into this game, and I really love that. There are some bugs that are persistent but not, cumbersome, like in the character page layout. Sometimes it's like faded or dimmed or something. It's hard to see real good.
Yeah.
The only really like bug that I've seen glitchy so far was in Udagunga. Like the fish are swimming through the air. Like the outside fish that are supposed to stop when they get to the bubble and then resume on the other side, just like go straight through the bubble city. But I haven't encountered anything that makes it difficult to play. Like you sent me the TikTok or something of the guy who was stuck on the speeder bike mission for like 8 hours, and he had like a billion studs.
Yeah.
Because it was just like kept in this loop, and the speeder bike troopers never showed up. I never had that problem. I've never had issues with the bugs.
So can I tell our bug story when we were playing the Death Star mission in New Hope?
Yeah.
So and again, this is what it did. I've encountered a lot of bugs, and maybe because and maybe it's because I'm playing on the Switch.
Platform. It might be
a Switch issue. And
I was gonna say I've encountered.
I have some. But
I've encountered a few big ones. I'm on Xbox, but like I've encountered a few big ones. Not as many small ones that I've noticed. The biggest one for me is you can. I don't know if any of you have gotten to this part. Maybe Connor, you have, but you can actually take over capital ships in this game.
Yeah. I took over the droid control ship.
Me too.
So I've gotten all 5 of them. It does not matter which one you take over. If you ever in a mission, if you're ever using a capital ship, and if you're ever in a mission where you're pulled out of hyperspace to deal with pirates trying to scavenge your things, the capital ship will just become transparent for no apparent reason.
Oh yeah.
I've had that issue.
Every single problem, every single time, with like no exception.
The first time it happened, I was like trying to fly around the droid control ship so I wouldn't crash into it and die, and it's like you're leaving the battlefield, and I'm like, but and then like one of them flew straight through, and I'm like, I'm proverbially like, okay, so it's all in my head, and so now I see the little red thing and I just shoot through the ship. It doesn't really bother me, but yes, Eli, thank you for bringing that one. I have noticed that one. It just only bothered me the first time.
That's the big sticking point for me, at least. Like, other than that, my gameplay's been pretty smooth.
I've had the Death Star, or not the Death Star, the droid control ship issue.
Yep. When we were playing the Death Star level, there was the one where you like pretend to be Vader, so they turn the power lifts back on, but the button, you couldn't press the button once you got into it. That was we had to restart the level.
Once we got to the turbo, we blew like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like searching around that circle in the Death Star, thinking we were missing something.
Yeah.
But the button to activate the turbo lift after you, like you said, like use the supply closet to, arm Darth Vader at the camera. It didn't fucking work, and it was really frustrating. And I told you, I said, this is a bug. I said, something's not loading. Let's start the level over. And sure as rain, it was right there.
Yeah. Thankfully, it took us like 5 minutes to catch up.
Yeah.
Once we
already knew what we were doing.
But,
yeah. Another issue I've had on a couple occasions when I go to travel to a new planet while I'm in hyperspace, my ship just won't spawn. So it's just an endless screen of hyperspace.
Really?
I've had that happen I've had that happen a few times, and it freaked me out because I was afraid I was going to like mess up the autosave. Because I was like, well, I only have one option here. Let's just hope and pray.
Yeah.
I've had boss fights where characters where the boss just stops taking damage. I was playing the Battle of the Heroes in free play, and Anakin. It's when you're on the little. It's like right before when you get out of the boardroom on Mustafar, like where Anakin massacres the Separatists.
Yeah.
When you get to the next room,
Like the porch.
yeah, the porch, like the porch balcony thing. Yeah, I got there, and then I got halfway through when I'm dueling Anakin, and then his health bar just went away.
Just disappeared.
Yeah, I had that with the Praetorian Guard fight when I was Rey. Just the Praetorian Guard just stopped taking damage.
That happened on that one. What was one of the other weird ones? Oh, I've had some missions where it defaults me to free play. I was playing the level where you bust into Starkiller Base as Han, Chewie, and Finn in The Force Awakens. And
Starkiller Queen.
Starkiller Queen. Yeah, it was one of the funnier level names.
Uh-huh.
And I noticed when I walk, because there's a door you can carve open if you have a lightsaber.
Oh, that is annoying to me. That is
It's
so
weirdly
hard to do.
asymmetrical. Yeah.
So hard to do.
Oh yeah,
I-
it's weird.
And it started flashing between Mace Windu and Darth Maul, who were the last two Jedi and Darksiders I had used.
Oh man.
And I was like, why would it do that unless I could? And I just hit the button. And in the middle of Starkiller Queen, I was playing as Darth Maul.
Huh.
It let me just go right into character select.
That's really weird.
It was
Yeah.
super weird, you know. And I had to, I had to start the level over because it was just kind of going crazy. And that's another thing. And again, the crunch here was super bad. And again, I'm more putting the onus on the people running the show than the individual developers. I vehemently, when I say free play, I mean level free play, not free roam. But like level free play is not free play. If I'm doing if I'm doing a level that I'm specifically playing because I want to do a boss fight, like fighting Anakin on Mustafar, like fighting Count Dooku in either of the Dooku fights, and you won't let me pick my character, it's not free play. I'm just replaying the mission, which is fine, but like whenever I try to do the Battle of the Heroes, like there would be certain parts of the level where even though I was already playing as a Jedi, it would force me back to playing as Revenge of the Sith Obi. And same thing with the Dooku fight and the beginning on Invisible Hand, where I was playing as Mace Windu, and then it was like, and then the game took over, did like the weird initializing hologram minifigure, and then spat me back out as Anakin Skywalker. And then I tried to switch back to Mace again, and it was like, no, you play this as Anakin. I was playing a ship level in free play. It wouldn't let me change my ship. There's like a lot of weird, like character select is really buggy. And again, I don't know if it's the Switch. I don't know if there's anybody else on other platforms that have had this issue, but there have been some game-breaking bugs that just really have like taken the wind out of my sails. I think that's also been part of my like, you know, my stress, because like I was halfway through the Canto Bite level and the game just crashed.
Yeah. Player experience can have a major effect on your overall opinion of the game.
I totally understand
I
that.
haven't experienced nearly as many. In fact, I
Yeah.
don't think I've experienced any like game stopping bugs. And so my player experience is really positive. And there are a lot of things both of us really like. There are some things that you dislike, but for the most part, like I'm really happy with the game.
Same.
I think
I love
yeah.
it. I hate that. I
Yeah.
hate how negative I sound.
Yeah, but most
Talking
of that,
about this.
but most of
I
that
was gonna say I've had
your player experience issues
Yeah.
more so than the actual format of the game.
Yeah.
I was gonna say my game's crashed maybe 2 or 3 times. Like yeah.
Like I said, I don't think I've only had 1 or 2 straight up crashes, but the amount of times that like I hit a bug that makes me quit the game.
Quit the game.
That essentially is the game crashing at that point. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
It's
basically
crashing
the
without
same
crashing.
Yeah, ostensibly. But yeah, again, like for everything I could complain about, you know, I can still tell you like 1,000 things I love about it. You know, Connor and I, you know, I think it was the most recent like proper episode of KNR, which granted was a while ago, but that's because I wanted the Lego Star Wars review to be episode 100. I think it was episode 99. Like that was when the roster was officially like released. And Connor and I spent like the back 15 minutes of the show just reading fucking character names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, almost doing
that's
drink
another problem I have with
take
that
a
game.
shot every time you hear a character you have no clue. You know.
That's another thing. That's another thing that the problem I have with the game, and I'll make this quick. But where in the absolute fuck is Ochi of Bestoon? Where is he? He's in the cutscenes.
Character model in the cutscene.
He's a character model. Where is that guy? And why is he not in my fucking Lego Star Wars game? You had 3 years, Traveler's Tales. 3 years.
Spencer, because you're
I've been waiting to get that one out for a
No,
long time.
you know about Ochi. Okay.
His Twitter handle is Ochi Fan.
Oh yeah, I forgot they have.
327.
I mean, I get it. We all have a Glup Shido.
No, I don't have a Glup Shido. I have like 6 Glup Shidos now. I've apparently, so this is actually a thing now. This is going back to one of the trivia matches. Trey still hates me for this, and that's fine. He can hate me. But the first Clone Wars question I asked him, I didn't realize that old Daka was a more obscure character than she was. I
She's not all that
inadvertently.
obscure.
Because we play Galaxy of Heroes. That's why she's not obscure to us.
Oh.
all right.
You do too. I was gonna say that's why she's not obscure to me. She's a
That's
cute
fair.
Yeah,
component of the
I was
Night
gonna
Sister
say.
Squad. But like, but she's in one episode, and Trey's like, "Who the hell is this woman?" And I'm like, "Wait,
I
you don't
bet
know
you-
who old
I
Daka
bet you
is?"
that there are characters that have only been in one episode that he would recognize and name immediately. I am
No,
sure
absolutely.
in fact,
I'm just like,
going to make it my mission to find such an example.
yeah. But like that's become one, and like this is another one I had a revelation the other day about. Is that I'm going to officially make Mayoi Madakor one of my Glup Shidos.
Which one's that?
She is. This is a question I'm not going to be asking in trivia anytime soon because I've made it so obvious that she's what my Glup Shidos. She is the pilot of the Radiant 7 at the beginning of the Phantom Menace.
Oh, okay, yeah. Now I remember that name for the.
Eli has told me this like 4 times, and I forget every single time.
With all due respect, the ambassadors. What is that line? With all due respect, the ambassadors to the Supreme Chancellor wish to board immediately, or something like that.
Yeah. I will say, and again, there's only so much you can do with some of this stuff, especially with a character roster this extensive. There's some characters I am stunned don't have voice lines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Ayla
Especially
Sakura.
considering Ayla
I
doesn't
mean,
have any voice lines.
That was
Here-
obvious.
here's-
That was
In my opinion,
Stop,
Cannon
Most-
Eli. Stop. No,
in my
we're
opinion,
not doing this.
the most egregious one is Plo Koon.
Oh,
Really?
for sure. You are
Wow.
James Arnold Taylor's right there.
I was
Yeah, that is
like,
really
I
weird.
can't wait to hear what Plo sounds like. I don't think I've unlocked him yet.
Oh, that's what he sounds like, Spencer. That's what he sounds like.
Speaking of
Sure.
characters and their like just throwaway lines, Yariel Poof is an absolute troll in this game.
Yariel
Like,
Poof is the best.
Have you played as him and just like walked around? He says like, "Never fear, the great Jedi Master Yariel Poof has come to assist you." You know, like he sounds like he reminds me of the caterpillar from the old Alice in Wonderland movie. Honestly, that's the
wild
vibe.
ass.
That's the vibe I get from him. Anyway,
Actually, there's another weird thing about this game that I still cannot believe, and I've talked to Connor about this. I don't think I've told you guys about this. This is the thing that really annoys me. Have either of you unlocked Delso Prin in this game?
No.
Do
I don't
either of
think
you
I have.
know who Delso Prin is?
Not off the top of my head.
See, I didn't either before this game. He is in this game. He appears for less time in that movie than Ochi does. I could not tell you who that guy is, but he's in this game. Same movie. He's a King
Wait,
Gulan
before I hit
male.
enter, don't even tell me if I'm right. I could know because I accidentally have screen share of something. You see it up here. I'm making sure. Is this the fat guy from The Force Awakens?
No, he's from The Rise of Skywalker.
He's Rise of Skywalker. Okay.
Are you talking about Grumgar?
Yeah, Grungar. Yeah.
Grumgar's
the guy
also
with,
in
like,
this
the big-
game, but no, this
What?
is Delso Prin. You would not recognize him. He appears for what I know from a second in The Rise of Skywalker.
Dude, the big guy from Force Awakens is in this game. What?
Grumgar, yeah. Delso
Dude,
Prin.
yeah, that
You
man.
don't recognize that guy.
that man is.
No,
that man
I
is,
don't.
That man is in my
I'm
nightmares.
good with background characters too. I may not know, some of them I may not know their name, but I can pick them out of a lineup.
Yeah.
No idea on him.
I thought I knew The Rise of Skywalker well, but I'm like, who the hell is this Delso Prin? Friggin', that's my favorite other thing. Rothgar Deng is in this game. Rothgar Deng is in this game. That's crazy. Dengar is, by the way, a completely separate character. So there's Dengar and there's also Rothgar Deng.
That's funny. Like I said, the bottomless nature of the character roster in this game is hilarious.
Yeah.
And I get why not everybody has voice lines like you can't with everybody. But there's some that I'm just stunned.
The
Got
fact
shirt.
that the fact that the DLCs don't have voice lines is really sad. The sad one to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
I agree. And it took me a minute to notice that because, I remember, I think it was Lauren Romo who was in the same Discord we're in, who was like, hey, is the DLC worth it? And there's a special edition worth it. So you just load in with a lot of the DLC. And I told her, I said, depending on how much galaxy exploring you want to do, if you want to be able to load into free play immediately and have a bounty hunter and some villains and some heroes from the jump, you need it.
Yeah.
Because the Mando and the Trooper pack, you're set.
Yeah.
You have every class covered.
And even if you don't get the Trooper pack, within a level or two, you've unlocked the B1 battle droid for the villain classification. But like you clued me in on, I didn't know how to use the scavengers until I did or it wasn't even a level, I don't think. It was just in The Force Awakens. After the first level, there's that tutorial.
There's that
for scavenger class.
I read online, it said you had to specifically do the Force Awakens one. That was incorrect. If you're going chronological, you'll get them once you do the level as Wicket. Because Wicket is a scavenger as well.
Oh, well. That
Interesting.
would take
'Cause
longer.
I could have sworn I learned it is Rey in 7.
No, I learned it as well in episode 6.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, 7, it basically takes you through the tutorial a second time. But they make it so that, because I was curious, because I saw that all the Ewoks were scavengers. So I was very curious as to how the hell that was supposed to work if I had to drop doing Return of the Jedi to jump ahead into The Force Awakens to be able to finish the level. But whatever the name of the level is on Endor where you're playing as Wicket and Chewbacca, it runs you through the scavenger stuff.
Quick addendum to what I'd said earlier. I actually did play the first level or two of The Force. I finished the prequels, and especially on Coruscant and Tatooine, there were just a lot of things, a lot of really relatively easy Kyber bricks to get, but you just needed
Kaiser.
Byron.
Welcome to the
What do you want to tell
dungeon,
Joe
kid.
Byron right now?
Oh, I'm making
$100 to whoever can fit these glizzies in their mouth. $100. Anyway,
I was making
After
after I
shot?
finished, what?
You want a shot? You want a shot? I'm sorry. This is turning into a sidewalk bit real quick.
After I finished the prequels, I think you've got to play through one proper level of the Force Awakens. I think it's like the escape level for Finn and Poe, and then you go to Jakku as Rey and learn the things, and then I jumped back into A New Hope so I could do more of the Kyber bricks as I was going.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, it is, because there are a substantial number that aren't difficult to get. You just need a net launcher or a glider or a breaker blaster or whatever they call it. It's just like, oh, hey.
Yeah, like, dude, the scavenger class is honestly overpowered once you
It's
unlock
so
everything.
overpowered.
And I
It's
love
so
it.
I mean, it
overpowered.
makes sense why there's only 11 of them.
Yeah, like, I just, like, dude, literally, like, right now, at least in free play, because I've beaten the story, I'll get to that in a moment, but, like, free play, I pretty much main as Barriss Offee, Bulio,
My boy.
Win the war! Win the war!
So you know how, you don't know how many times Connor and I have just sat on voice chats going back and forth. We the war.
It's just I love him. He's great.
He's awesome.
And
I love him so much.
Scavenger Ray. Like, those are my three main people I play as in this game. And, like, yeah, that's pretty much about it. And then, like, Zam Wessel is a bounty hunter if I need to do some bounty hunting stuff.
Thank you from a grateful Zam Wessel fan for saying the name right.
You got it. And it's just like, I didn't realize how overpowered the scavenger class was until I got the glider. I was like,
yeah,
this solves so many problems that I've had in this game up to that point.
Here's what I'm annoyed about with the scavenger class. There's like 10 scavengers tops, and there are like 70 heroes, a handful of which could very, very easily be made into a different class. Like, make a couple clone. There are like 8 clone trooper skins, not even including the Bad Batch DLC. Make a couple of them jet troopers. Bam, you've got a new class. Bring in like a rocket B2. Bam, there's a new class. You could so easily subdivide that. That's another gripe that I realized that you've got a lot of classes already. I'm not complaining about the class system. I kind of like it, but you've got
so
so
it
many...
affects me. I play almost exclusively as Jedi and Darksiders.
But characters like I got the Rogue One DLC, and K2SO is an extra. He can do nothing. Put him in with the protocol droids or the astromechs. Echo has a freaking...
There's some really strange, to Spencer's point.
And he's only a hero. Like, they should have figured out a way to do like a dual class where you could be up to 2 different things. I recognize where you have unlocked abilities for each class that can make certain characters a little OP, but a character like Echo is both a hero and essentially an astromech, essentially a protocol droid, one of the two. And it really made, for me personally, aside from Crosshair, it really made the Bad Batch DLC kind of dull. They can't do anything. They all have blasters. They all have slightly different character animations when you do combo attacks, but the other 4 only do hero terminals, and the other things that heroes can, like, it was just kind of boring.
I think no, you go. You like
to Spencer's point about class weird stuff. There are just some characters that feel weirdly classed. Like there's some characters. I noticed this especially with these 3 categories: hero, villain, and extra. There are some characters that you think would be in hero or villain, or that are just an extra for no reason. Yeah. Like the one I can automatically think of is New Gunray is a villain, but Rude Hako is extra. Why?
Dude, Babu Frick's an extra.
Well,
that one I kind of
should be a he should be a scoundrel, is what he should be.
Yeah. If Zori's a scoundrel, or if you don't even bother with it. Just have Babu Frick ride on Zori Bliss's shoulder the way Grogu just hangs out with Dan.
Or the way you can have Luke, and this is another thing I love about this game, where you can have Luke with Yoda on his back as a skin.
Yeah.
There's legitimate skin you can unlock in this game, and I love that.
Yeah. I think there's something interesting, and I think that they have the bones for what you're talking about. Because if you look at Grievous, and
Grievous is OP.
Grievous is a villain and a Darksider. You just can't use the Force, basically. Because you could use all the lightsaber stuff and shoot and throw grenades. And I'm sure Moff Gideon is the same way, where he has the Darksaber and can shoot and throw grenades. And another gripe, and this is where I made the mistake. And I said this on launch night, where I didn't get to play the game until the next morning. You know, I am never getting a title like this for the Switch again. From now on, the only games I'm getting on the Switch are games I can only play on the Switch.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo Fare, because I don't know what I have to do to download the fucking DLC. Like the Rogue One,
it took me a solid half hour to figure out that.
But and granted, I'm used to that UI, and I've only ever used my Switch to play like a couple Pokemon games and Smash Bros. So there's that. But the Rogue One DLC just showed up one day, 3 days after it was out for everybody else. Mm-hmm. And I just opened the game and went, oh, I can play as Chirrut and Krennic now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm yet to get Mando Season 2 pack.
Oh, you haven't
on
got
my
Mando
thing,
Season
and
2.
I really want it because I want to play as Gideon and Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I really want to play as Ahsoka.
I might have a lead for you because what I had to do is I was looking in my library and it wasn't in the PlayStation library where all my purchases and applications and stuff are. I had to go to the PlayStation store and I had to purchase them, but they were listed as free. I think in their algorithm or whatever.
Mine are already listed as purchased.
So you should have them already. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I had
confused
and frustrated by it.
I had to buy them for free and then download them for them to show up.
Yeah, no, if it were like that,
Yeah.
I've dealt with that when I still played on my Xbox all the time.
Yeah.
That's another thing. And again, I'm kind of starting to deduce that a lot of my issues are born out of the fact that I chose the Switch for this release. And again, it is a mistake I am going to learn from.
But that shouldn't
be a fucking problem in the first place.
It shouldn't be.
But yeah, again, on the whole, I really enjoyed it. I think the combat is really cool. Especially the lightsaber stuff. I've really enjoyed the lightsaber duels.
I love that you can throw them and it's not arbitrary. That you can actually aim a saber throw.
Yeah.
And then this is just a really minor thing that I just love. Whenever you throw a saber and you call it back to your hand prematurely, it kind of wobbles out of control a little bit, like you broke its rhythm.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool effect. I don't know if you disagree with me on that.
I haven't noticed that. I'm gonna have to. Wow.
Try it out, Connor. Throw the lightsaber. There's a button to recall it before it completes its cycle. And whenever you throw it, it's like a frisbee. And then whenever you recall it back, it's like. So it's its flight path back is somewhat unnatural because you kind of broke its rhythm.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you disagree with that. Like a Jedi should never have an unnatural flight, or any of that crap. But I just think it's a cool concept. It's just one of the many, many things. We could probably spend an entire episode, full length, just talking about the things we liked. But because it's comprehensive, we have to talk about a little bit of both.
Yeah, and
there
if
are
there's
a lot of things I really like about this
same.
game.
Again, I'm at the point where and again, I want to say this because I feel like I've been overwhelmingly negative in the way of talk about this game, and I want to make it clear. It's easier to talk about the things I dislike. I love the smattering of different things for this. I know. I noticed that first thing.
I just now noticed. You put it up there. We just now noticed.
We never got rid of
unusual
Delso.
things that come up when you Google image Delso Prin. Signs of a toxic relationship.
By the way, part of that is because you didn't spell his name right.
Well, we just missed an L and added an N. See what happens if you spell it right. I'm guessing you still get signs of a toxic relationship.
I'm not saying it's.
How far do you have to scroll in order to find signs of a toxic relationship?
That is all, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But no, I will say. Now again, The Last Jedi's my baby, and to quote the no longer part of the network Levi, apparently I get a little precious when people criticize The Last Jedi, and I don't think that's true.
I know exactly what you're going to mention, Jared, and I also agree.
They botched The Last Jedi in this game. I sincerely think almost almost every decision they made from a gameplay perspective, where they went left, they should have gone right, and where they went right, they should have gone left. You don't
Really
like.
interesting.
There are so many moments of The Last Jedi you don't get to play. Like The Last Jedi gets like, aside from any other like discourse about that movie,
Yeah.
the things that it gets maligned for the most is that it has the least action and all of that. And I get that a movie that is way more character driven is hard to do as a Lego game. But
Yeah.
almost all of the action scenes are cut scenes. The father breakout, you watch it happen. Like, they could have absolutely glossed over the prison break.
Yeah, they didn't have to do
And
that.
the Cantonica, like the level you play on Cantonica, be
Could've been
racing the father's
yeah.
Canto bike. You don't get to do the skimmer speeders on
Yeah.
That was my big one. Yeah.
like that. Like again,
Yeah.
that is like that seems like such an obvious pick for a level.
Yeah, I
That's
get
just-
that. I will say that I slightly disagree with the skimmer, not because I don't think it would have made a good level, but because I did really love the Luke duel level.
I love the Luke duel, but like,
The-
why can't it just dovetail into it?
Yeah,
You know, like
the Luke
the
duel
last
was so
level of-
fun. I'm like, they can't possibly
I-
make it into a video game. They can't possibly make this into a video game, and then they did, and I'm like, I love this so much.
That was dubbed. I think they could have solved both of our problems at the exact same time. I have noticed that this game seems like it's scared to mix level formats. Like they are just,
Right.
they refuse to have half a level that is playable characters and half a level that's a ship mission.
And maybe that was a game design issue, but who knows?
I cannot
Yeah.
remember if they did that for Duel of the Fates, because I want to say you do fly the droid control ship battle.
No,
But-
it's two separate levels. It's Better Call Maul, and then now this is pod race.
Exactly. And I think that could have really easily been done as the last 25% of Better Call Maul. And I'm like, I realized that with 9 movies and 5 levels per movie, that's still 45 freaking levels. But there are times when I'm like, I wanted to see, like you were saying with The Last Jedi, I wanted to see this be playable. I wanted to see this have some action to it. I would rather them have shorter levels on each section, but have action everywhere there should be action, than for them to sacrifice it for cutscenes so that you can go really in depth on a mission or on a level that's really undeserving of a level when you've only got 5 per episode.
I
The
can't
one for
believe
me
the amount
is
of
the
time-
Sidious Mace duel.
What was that?
The one for me is the Sidious Mace duel.
Absolutely. Cosign completely.
Yep.
Honestly,
But-
and maybe it's just because I hate the level in the complete saga. Cut Yoda on Kashyyyk.
No, don't
Cut-
cut Yoda on Kashyyyk.
I
That is like the best joke in the entire game.
Which one was that? Oh,
Oh my- The Palpatine Order 66 joke is so hilarious.
I
It's
don't
so
I don't
funny.
know, man. The Geonosis joke with Padme. Do I got to get captured by Tusken Raiders to get saved? That was good.
That was funny, but Palpatine constantly going through and trying to call everyone to execute Order 66 and going through his virtual phone book to find, okay, no, this number is Dooku, this one's Grievous. Where the hell are all these clones? Was like legitimately hilarious.
That was funny. I do wish you got to do the Palpatine fight. For a second there, I got excited. But
I
again,
wish we got to do Coruscant. Like the opening battle.
that was another one I was surprised.
Boom.
You didn't even get to do as like a free roam thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
you know,
like
I was
dude,
looking forward
the
to it because I
ones-
thought that was just going to be free money. Yeah,
like
in
the ones off the
complete
top of my
saga.
head that I'm kind of like sad that we didn't get to do in game are opening battle of Coruscant, skimmer, crate speeder, and correct me if I'm wrong. We didn't get to, we did Exegol like on the Star Destroyer, but not in the atmosphere. We didn't get to fly.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
you're
that.
just on the
Like,
floor backs.
are you kidding me?
Wait. As long as we're talking about Exegol, we need to talk about the video I posted. We need to talk about the video I posted of Connor.
That is true.
Because like,
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry I hijacked this, but like this is so there was a lot more history behind that video than you probably realized. So I'd been telling Connor that there's this character who appears in a boss battle at the end of Rise of Skywalker on Exegol, and you're never gonna believe who it is. It was, and it was like, and I was like, this is gonna be crazy. You're never going to believe who it is. Because I could not believe that was BB9E at the end of Rise of Skywalker. I'm like, what are they doing? This is great, but what the hell are they doing? And so Connor agreed to film his reaction, and then that happened. And he figured out that BB9E was a boss battle at the end of Rise of Skywalker, despite not even appearing in the damn movie, which is
BB9E was the last boss fight of the game.
It was.
It's
the main story.
But,
the main story of the game, it depends on your mileage.
Yeah. That was absolutely phenomenal. Because like, I'll make this short. I got this game the day I flew back from Florida for just vacation. And going into the because I did chronological. Going into it at first, I was overwhelmed, which is everything. Like, the thing I keep saying to people and keep putting out on Twitter is like, this game is surprisingly complex for a Lego video game.
Yep.
Like, the combat's complex, the puzzles. Like, I'm a 25-year-old guy at this point. Some of these puzzles confuse the hell out of me.
Though, to be fair, some of the Complete Saga ones confused me for a while, too.
Fair, but like this is just like it's just incredibly complex.
No, I've had to type into Google names of missions, Lego Skywalker, followed by Lego Skywalker Saga more times than I care to admit.
Oh yeah, no, same.
I've done that dozens of times. I've done for side missions.
I have had more trouble with the like the race for the Kyber brick side missions, like in space when you have to go through those
the scramble runs.
The scramble runs, I've given up on those. I've given up on those.
I hate the scramble runs so much.
I gave up on those after
so much hate in Spencer's eyes.
Here's a little tip that I caught on to that might help you. They usually line up in threes, so if you can get yourself pointed where you can speed really fast through the three and then find your way around to another three, and that's how I finally. But I, no joke, spent a half hour trying to do the scramble to get Newt Gunray.
The scramble run.
A half hour.
Wait, you spent a half hour trying to do a scramble run for Newt Gunray, where you can literally just enter a code and get Newt Gunray.
Yeah, because I'm not a cheater.
Yeah, I tried to do that for Admiral Holdo, but I was like, I can't do this. I'm just going to put in the code. Like, it was just so frustrating. But the space combat is so freaking fun. That is the highlight of the game for me, man. Just flying in anything and just shooting down TIE fighters or droid ships.
Actually, speaking of ships and character selection, circling back to our stuff about character selection and why some characters in this game and why some aren't.
The best new legacy is in the game.
No, I was actually going to make a larger point about that. There are so many ships that are in the game, and the characters, and they're just the characters aren't in the game. Best in Legacy, Ghost. The Ghost is in the game, and none of the crew is in the game. The other one is the YT-2400. They put the fucking Outrider in this game. They were never going to put in Dash Rendar, but they had the opportunity to put the Outrider in this game.
They just needed Outrider for all of the random smuggler and scoundrel side missions that remotely involve ships. They were like, we need a ship that represents all the scoundrels in the galaxy. How about the Outrider? Yeah, that sounds good.
And if anybody asks about it, we can say it appeared for 2 shots in A New Hope.
Yeah.
There was a lot realized in this game.
Real fast. Since we've been talking a little bit of both, I will acknowledge the one thing that I really, really wanted in this game I got and I'm happy about, which was a not horrible playable Utapau mission. When you fight Grievous, I was like, show me the invasion. I don't want none of this like landing platform with these weird little like rock recesses that you got to jump through. Like, give me actual.
Cody randomly dies in the middle of it. For some
I know
reason.
it's a terrible level in OG Lego Star Wars. But man, I had so much fun with the Utapau level, both when we played it and when I played it by myself. It was just so much fun to roam around, and the whole aesthetic was awesome. So I will acknowledge the one thing that I really wanted, I actually got, and so my complaints are limited. But
I think
I will
one
say
thing
this
I
is the-
do
okay, go ahead. Go
think
ahead.
is wild is that for this, let's be real, children's game, bonus objectives are hidden.
yeah,
That is batshit crazy.
I do think it's cool though, the rumor mechanic that you can not only buy rumors to give you hints, but also that one of the unlockable abilities for scoundrels is reducing the cost of rumors. I thought that was an interesting.
It's
mechanic.
interesting. I would limit that to characters, not for the bonus missions. I would limit that to hunting down characters. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
But for the bonus missions, I like that's one of those things where it's like on principle, I'm not playing the game you want me to. Those are moments where it's like I'm using Google because I like on principle think this is stupid as hell. There's another thing I wanted to bring up that was like kind of
Well,
tangential with what you were
here's-
saying with the Utapau.
Here's
thing,
what
and I
I'll
think-
say for a little bit of pushback on that point. I have done an extensive amount of Google searching whenever they had 10 mini kits per level, because it comes to a point where you're just like, what else is there to do? And you just are at a loss for how to get that 10th mini kit. You got to
Yeah.
look it up anyway. So it's cool that they added a self-reveal into the game so that you don't feel like you're cheating by asking for help. I think that's really cool because, like I was telling Eli just now, I have 100%ed, I think, 6 Lego games at this point. And it always feels
Thank you, COVID.
you always feel a little dirty when you're looking up on IGN. You're like, oh, I really don't want to spend more time on this. How do I find that last mini kit? But you do kind of feel like, I got the 100%, but at what cost? It cost me my integrity to complete this game. But it has built self-reveals. It has built hints into itself so that you can do it within the context of the game without having to look up. In fact, the only thing I looked up about this game so far was when we were playing through the Death Star level and we were like, are we missing something? Is there something here that we are not seeing, or something that should be here that's not here? And so that's where I'll push back on you a little bit on the rumors, even on the because it's also interesting to play through a level and get a challenge or an objective, and you're like, oh, that's cool. It's fun that I thought about.
When you're
doing
playing
this, and
through
so
it for
did
the
they.
first time. When you're playing through it for the first time, if you accidentally happen to fulfill a bonus objective, that's cool. The fact that, like, especially considering how costly characters are in this, like,
Yeah.
Dude,
There
Babu
is a-
Frick was 500K.
Yeah,
Like
shit
Bob
like
Frick was
that.
500K.
I love him, but like that's a little costly for him.
but like he
In
said,
the words of Babu Frick himself, hey, 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 hey.
but like he said, after you get, and this is all a matter of preference. I think you'd be stupid not to go for the stud multipliers.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
the things I upgraded first were stud magnet, like character studs, and then I bought all 5 of the stud multipliers, and it took me a while. I think I was in episode 6 before I finally got, or no, maybe episode 4 before I got the times 10 multiplier.
So
But
I
it's
was
like, well,
stupid, and I
Money is
ran
no
the whole-
object anymore. It's like,
Yeah,
I was
I,
stupid. I ran the whole campaign without the multipliers, and so I had to get them in free play.
yeah,
That was so annoying.
I couldn't do that. Like I hadn't played a Lego game in the last Lego game I literally played was Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. So it's been a while for me. So when I booted up this game and started playing it and started really feeling overwhelmed by just everything, the main part of that feeling was the fact that I could just destroy everything. And I just forgot that I could just destroy everything. And then once I found out about the stud multipliers, I was like, all right, I gotta grind. And it just took me forever at first.
Also,
and I just
once
could not get through the prequels because I just kept getting so distracted.
Also, once you found out about the Sinta Glacier colony.
The Glacier Colony in episode 9. I had all the stud multipliers except for 10 by that point. I think I had all of them except for 10 because I just kept farming studs. But I basically, that was mainly through the prequels. Once I beat the prequels, I pretty much just ran through the rest of the story like so easily. And I'm really happy I did because like the one thing this game really did for me was it really reminded me why I loved Star Wars. And it really reminded me of that just love for this franchise because like, especially with the sequels. Like I'm pretty much the same way with you, Jared. I love the sequels. I just don't really talk about them all that much. Well, at least not until recently because like all the vitriol and all the just constant bitching online from just both sides. It's just like, especially with episode 9 for me. Like episode 9 is my least favorite Star Wars, but like the constant bitching of it just turns me to it, and Rey in general as a character. Like just playing through Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, I was like, shit, I really love Rey as a character, man. Like this is great. This game just really reminded me why I love this saga and some of these characters so very much. And just
not to be that guy who's annoying about the Rise of Skywalker, but this game did more with Rey Palpatine than the movie did.
Well, yeah, because it didn't do much. Anyway,
Rey Palpatine is a concept. I'm not saying like Rey Palpatine is in that's who she is. She's Rey Skywalker.
Yeah, no, I was like, ever since you said I'm going to speak about the Rise of Skywalker, I'm like, I'm a head out.
It's just episode 9 is just a hell of a lot of fun in this game. Especially Kev Beer was a standout to me. I love Kev. Like, dude,
it's one of my favorite lightsaber duels, and it's like in the movies and in the game.
It's a great saber duel. I just love. Maybe it's just the level design of the planet itself. I just love the planet now. Like, I think just going through all the planets, I just love the planets more, and the planets I like didn't really care much about. I just love them more and more. Like Naboo. Yeah. Like I just love chilling on Theed, mainly because of the ambient music choices that they put. There's this one bit of music that they put in the game that is just heavenly to me. And that's the other thing
You just wait until you unlock the Galaxy Rave data card, and it's like EDM Star Wars music, and everybody's dancing all the time.
Oh no,
it gets old after like a half hour, but it's a lot of fun at first.
I'll unlock that because I think I have enough data cards for it. Because like the only two things I wanted to get for the data cards were all the stud multipliers and the universal translator.
Oh, that's pretty much me too. Yeah. Clutch. Yes, I don't want to keep switching to a fucking protocol droid every time I need to speak to somebody in a different language.
Yeah. Has anybody unlocked the Golden Gonk Companion extra yet?
Not yet. No.
No.
Okay. One of the extras, and I unlocked it at first just because of the meme, but I think it's actually worth it because one of the extras that you spend a data card on, it adds a golden indestructible Gonk droid with a mustache and a monocle that you can ride, and I'm pretty sure it's faster than any character on maximum upgrade.
That's insane.
I'm pretty sure it's like kind of funny for the meme. You just have a golden Gonk droid following you around in story mode that cannot be killed, but you get on it, and I was like,
be betrayed.
I was like
I cannot be beaten.
This thing really moves. moves. I'm like on this gonk droid. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is faster than any playable character
All I can
on
hear is,
maximum
like,
speed
the
upgrade.
Benny Hill
The,
music.
what was the one other thing I just really love about this game is that it just answers the question of why does this happen, and it just answers it with why not. Like, dude, I took over the Steadfast as Barisofe and Bulio in a Jedi Interceptor. Like, in what world can you do that? Nowhere. Except
world.
Lego Skywalker Saga.
Whenever I found that droid control ship and I took that over, I fulfilled one of my favorite deleted scenes in all of the Skywalker Saga, and I did it as Plo Koon and Kayati Mundi.
Oh,
This
that's
is a deleted
awesome.
scene
Like,
in Attack of the Clones during the attack on the Petronaki Arena, where Kai and Plo take a Jedi strike team to one of the droid control ships, and that's why in the scene, whenever they're all surrounded by the battle droids, and Dooku's doing the whole, like, you fought valiantly, worthy of recognition in the Jedi archives.
And they're like
that Plo Koon and Kayati are being led into the circle. It's because they were like they started in the Petronaki Arena and then like stole ships and tried to shut down the droids because Plo Koon is a tactical genius. They just got caught.
oh wow. There was something else.
I was gonna circle back on Connor and Connor's point about Rise of Skywalker. I'm probably the biggest fan of that movie on this call, and I've had some like mental health struggles within the past. Like a lot of the internet discourse like got to my head about it.
Oh,
and this was
same.
This was one of the first times that I could really like experience that movie since like pretty much theaters, and go like, I really do like this movie. Like I really do. And
I gained a new appreciation for it.
There were beats that I couldn't hear without the annoying trolls in my head. That I finally was just like, oh yeah, that's why I like that. Oh yeah, that's why that works for me. Yeah. I will also just dedicate this. I feel like we should just have an entire segment about this, and I understand if we're running along or anything, but like, I feel like we should just have an entire segment on the puns. There are so many ridiculous puns in this game that I just love. I have a 7-8 text thread with Alden Diaz from Octo Radio just about the puns in this game.
Yeah,
Literally,
the game is funny.
It is
like,
funny.
By adult standards, you have to know a little bit about Star Wars, but it's just funny.
My favorite one, the mission to unlock OOM9, the commander of the battle droids at the Battle of Naboo, is called For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Yes,
dude, the mission names are fantastic.
They're so funny.
Like, I want to know who wrote them.
I forget which one I played recently, but it was one of those like For Whom the Bell Tolls where I was like, so somebody's seen that movie? I didn't know anybody knew about that movie anymore. It was one of those. I'm trying to remember what it was, but
I just found another one. 99 problems for EV99.
I
just thought
if you're having droid problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but 8881.
Sorry.
One of my favorites so far was the mission that
you're crazy for this one.
That Dr. Ivanson gives you to help. He's like, he's like, my friend lost his arm. Can you find me? First of all, that mission was ridiculous. Because, okay, all right. To get Dr.
That was insane.
Ivanson, am I pronouncing that right?
Evazan.
Yeah. To get Dr. Evazan,
bonus points.
You have
What's
to
his
go
first
to
name?
Kashyyyk. You have to go to Kashyyyk to
Cornelius.
Shut that damn it, Connor.
You have to go to Kashyyyk to get a surgeon, and you have to go to Hoth
to get the parts.
To get the parts from a 2-1B medical droid. But if you don't have the 2-1B medical droid yet, you have to start a new side mission to unlock the 2-1B medical droid.
Yeah.
It was just it
It's
was
bonkers.
it was like a 10-minute mission that turned into a half-hour mission. But
Yeah.
the whole thing, I think it was called "No Arm in Trying," was the name of the mission, and I was like, okay, that's funny.
So,
Dude,
here's
there's
another-
a mission on Canto Bight where you have to capture Cy Snoodles and bring her to Mama the Hutt.
Yeah,
It
that's
is
it.
bonkers.
It is
This game is
crazy.
bonkers, and I
What-
love it
Yeah.
so much.
I also
He
love.
even-
I was also gonna
You're
say
good, bud.
I love the D, and I might ramble on about this. So like I might do this a little bit later if you want me to, but like I actually took notes on this game. I was gonna end up sending them. I was gonna send them to Alex Damon at Star Wars Explained, but I just never got around to it, and he used most of the good ones in his 10 obscure facts you might not know video anyway. But I took notes on this game, like, oh, there's like there's like weird continuity stuff. Like I noticed the one with the let's see, the Kira one. I wanted to name you Kira thing.
That
Yeah.
was great.
Um,
That was phenomenal.
There's just fun stuff like that. For example, like the one I hyped up to Connor was the Great Ungness Trench.
Yes. Yeah,
Which-
in Darth Vader, in the Darth
in Darth
Vader
Vader
2017
15, which
comic.
Akbar references in A New Hope.
Yep.
Or a resident of Pisana mentions seeing the Ewoks Dulok Wars as referenced in the 80s Ewok cartoons. Or
I think my favorite, because it's High Republic related, is when you meet Yaddle, which I still haven't found that crate dragon. And I think it's because the mission got shut off for me because one of the times the game crashed.
Oh, I can tell you where it is.
yeah, I can tell you where it is. I've done the mission, but whatever.
What's
And
the
she
what,
talks
what,
like Yoda in the game.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, she does.
When I talked to her, she wasn't.
Well, when I talked to her, she was.
When I
Wait,
talked to her,
what's
she was
the-
at Temple.
what's the high
Well,
what's
whenever
the High
you unlock her,
Republic?
she talks.
What's the High Republic reference?
No,
We're
whenever
talking
you
about Yaddle.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yaddle, whenever I talked to her in the Jedi Temple, at least spoke normally.
I think when she gives you the
Oh,
mission,
okay.
she speaks normally, but once you unlock her like gameplay speech is
Yoda syntax
inverted. Yeah.
That
Also, I want
sucks. That sucks
Damn.
so much. I only wanted to unlock her so that I could like hear her just talk like this for no fucking reason. Yoda does.
I
Yeah.
just want to say, I just remembered the one bug that I encountered maybe 3 or 4 times that was game breaking was whenever it would cut to a cutscene, my screen would just go black.
Oh,
I don't know if any of you guys had that.
oh wait.
Yeah.
I have had one bug that has made the game difficult. I'm curious if anybody else has. During the Cloud City duel, did anybody else have camera focus issues? Like
Like when you're fighting Vader.
yeah, like my camera, once you get off the main platform and you go down the hall and like you do, like he throws stuff at you and stuff, the camera view was really, like the focus was really nearsighted. Like Luke was crystal clear, and then everything in the background was blurry.
No, I don't
I
think
know.
I did.
And it wasn't until I got to a new cutscene that it kind of readjusted, and it was okay from there. But it was like I was playing the game without my glasses on for a while.
That's very strange.
Granted, my eyesight is not as bad as Connor's, but
I is in the singular. No, I will say one thing I really think was like with the humor of this game that caught me off guard. And I told you about this when we were going in, where I was like, the ending to the Duel of the Fates is actually more violent in this game than it is in the movie.
yeah.
And there's a lot of instances where
Where
like
that's the
the
case.
kills are more brutal in this than it is in the movie.
But they're like, it's Lego.
Yeah,
We can get
like it's
away
done
with
with that
it."
slapstick way where like, you know, Darth Maul's like, like he has like the fucking lightsaber right between his teeth and shit. You know, it looks like Zorro from One Piece. Another one I like is the way that Obi-Wan just massacres Grievous. Like he cuts off all of his arms and then like tosses his lightsaber like a spear into his
Through his
chest.
chest.
Yeah.
And then like beheads him and shit. It was
So
like good.
uncivilized.
Yeah, that was uncivilized. Like in the movie, you just shot him in the chest a couple times, which I think,
Is more
in
civilized.
in the grand pantheon of
Killing
civilizedness, not that bad. Jesus. But
My terrible brain is screaming at me to ask you how many times he shot Grievous in the chest.
hold on.
I have my answer.
I can't remember.
3 times?
That's incorrect. How many?
6.
That's
Oh,
also incorrect.
oh, wait.
What?
Oh,
You're
okay.
joshing me.
I thought this was like a Lego game question. I didn't think
No,
It's
no,
this was
five.
a trivia.
If it's not 6, it's
Yeah,
definitely
I was talking
5.
between 3 and
It's
5.
5. It's 5.
I was
Say there's only
joking.
shoots him 6 times. Like that's
Yeah, it's 5.
I can hear the cadence in my head.
Yeah.
And I thought it was 6.
I just
I think-
cannot get over, and I know I've repeated this joke a million times. I just can't get over the fact that Padme goes, do I gotta get captured by Tusken Raiders to need rescuing or something? It's like
Yeah.
that
I
was so
I remember
uncalled
Alden
for,
exploded when he saw that.
and
Like,
it's so
he was the
brutal.
one who
and
showed
I
me that
love
one.
it.
Yeah, that one was bonkers. There's some really funny, morbid shit in there. We've been going for a little bit here. I think we're ready to bring it into the station. I'm not super in need to give this a letter. Let's do the letter grade thing. Eli, final thoughts on a letter grade.
My final
consistency's
thoughts
sake.
on this on this game is it's great. Again, I do think it could have used a little bit more work. But like I do really enjoy this game, and I'm only 50% done with it now. I'm excited to see what the other 50% has to offer, but it's just such it feels like such a quintessentially Star Wars game to me. It feels like it does the things that count. And my really only big complaint about it is why it takes Disney and the video gaming division at Lucasfilm so long to put out gems like these. But I can understand that and all that kind of stuff. But I really do love it. The humor is great. The in references is great. Again, I wrote down 15 things, and they're not even like close to covering everything. And there were so many times on the side missions, especially, where I'm like, okay, so we're doing this in a Lego Star Wars game.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. That is not what I expected to get out of this game. Boss on trampolines. There was this annoying thing. It's annoying, but it's also kind of fun, where you have to shoot down a loose Varactyl on Utapau. Gonkatine is a treat. All the Gonk droids, but especially Gonkatine is a treat. There's so many just random ass things in this game that are just so fun.
Excellent.
But my final letter grade would probably be like an A.
All right. Dope. Connor?
So I'm gonna keep it short. This game is as fun to me, if not more fun, not necessarily better, than Fallen Order. This game is just a boatload of fun. I think the biggest thing I love about it is just the fact that you can mix and match. Mitch, wow.
Yeah.
You can
Actually, that
mention,
makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
you can Max and Mitch.
You can mix and match characters.
Not fun when other people do it to you, is it, Connor?
Yeah,
Thor, Thuv, and Lunder, right?
yeah. I don't know. I didn't get the reference.
I would say that was more. It occurred to me that was more of a main show bit.
Yeah.
Than it was a KNR thing. So
Anyway.
Gotcha. And it's just
Sorry.
fun, just being able to be like, oh yeah, I can play as like Ray and Barriss Offee. Like they can just be together. Like they can just chill together. Like that's the thing I think I love.
Versus series.
Yep. Like, Lego Skywalker Saga is basically just taking Versus series and just blowing it up by 100. Like it really just is that. Like,
Yeah.
I think Lego Skywalker Saga might have made Versus series a lot more funner now for you guys.
It'll certainly give us the potential for more ideas.
Yeah, it'll definitely be an inspiration machine. You know, again, like I said, this game is even more proof of why my pitch for a Star Wars fighting game is free fucking money.
I totally agree. I 100% agree.
I think final letter grade is A. So
yeah. My thing with the fighting game, and I'm still trying to get this, and I know it's not the same. I think I mentioned this to you before, Jared, but like I want to get a PC very badly just so I can play the fan made the thing by Last Jawa.
I've seen clips of that. I remember.
It looks incredible. It looks really good. And I think he's done a great job at the development of that game. And it seems to be updated.
It looks really clean. It absolutely is proof of concept that you could do something. Again, I'm a firm believer, and we'll get back on target here in a second, that if a Star Wars fighting game were to be made, I don't think including non-lightsaber users is even worth it. I think I mean that includes like even Din Djarin or Moff Gideon, like Jedi and Sith and Darksiders and Lightsiders. I think the only real exception should be General Grievous for a Star Wars fighter. Like that's my very hard for no reason opinion, is that it has to be like a Force-based Soul Calibur. I think that would be the best way to do it. But that's you could do a whole episode about that.
Yeah, I get that, but then I was just like, just to see, looking at the Twitter to see what they were doing. He put Indiana Jones in this game. How awesome is that?
Beating up space Nazis as Indiana Jones sounds like fun. Spencer,
I will give this game an overall A-. I think it's really great. I have a lot of fun with it. I have a couple minor gripes that we've talked about. It is a little bit buggy. It feels to me like a woodworking project that deserved one more sanding to smooth it out, to make it really something before you put the paint on and everything. My biggest, what was I going to say? Oh, crud. That's what I get for remembering to pay my credit card bill in the middle of the show. What was I going to say?
freecreditreport.com, baby.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Yes.
I think that there is a balance between giving your audience enough stuff to do so that they can keep playing it after the story mode is finished and after the free play collectibles are all achieved. But I think having that many Kyber bricks
a little excessive.
In free roam is just so much. I've played this game with almost every second of my free time for the last 2 weeks, and I haven't even made a dent in the amount of free roam collectibles there is to get. Disney, if you're listening to me, I love the idea, but 1,100 Kyber bricks is kind of much. I think you can reduce the paywall on every one of the character class and core ability upgrade requirements for Kyber bricks, and everybody would still have a great time. Like, you want to put 10 Kyber bricks per location, a couple characters, a couple ships per planet, great. But to get to a new planet and see that I need to find 35 Kyber bricks, 4 characters, a data card, and 3 ships, I'm like, well, crap, this is going to take all week. It's really inconsistent how hard it is to get some of these Kyber bricks. Some of them, it's like, well, this is going to take me 15 minutes. And other ones, it's like, I think if I move one box and switch to Jango Fett, I can get it. It's really inconsistent, the amount of time required.
What you do as Jango Fett again? Okay, thank you.
That was very satisfying.
Me personally, I just like dropped a Mento in a 2-liter and held it on my back, and that's how I got up there. But anyway,
Sound effect I missed from the old Lego games. The way that it sounds like Django screams "Yah yeet" when he dies.
you need to find
Yeah.
this. You need to find this
He
right
goes,
now.
"Yah yeet!" Is what it sounds like when he dies in the old games. Hold on.
So anyway, Disney.
Now I'm just imagining the terrible. Do y'all know the terrible Anakin death noise from the Revenge of the Sith game?
Yes.
Ah.
Wait. The Lego game? Oh, wait, the Lego game or the like Revenge?
No,
of the
the
Sith?
real
The
video
Revenge
game.
of the Sith game. Every time he goes down.
Dude,
So
I actually,
Disney, if
do.
you're listening, just reduce the number of Kyber bricks. It's
Yeah,
a
I think
little
it's 11.
excessive.
I think it's
That's-
1166.
Okay, here we go.
Execute.
Do it again.
No, pull up the.
I'm trying to find it.
Oh my
Oh my god! Someone
Dude, that-
vamp.
okay, like
Yeah,
that's
dude.
another game. The Revenge of the Sith video game that needs to be, dude. Just port that, please port that. I want to replay that so bad, or I'll just go to. I still have a function in PS2. If I can, I might find a retro video game store and see if they have it, because I want to replay that so bad.
I wish our screen share worked. I wish our screen share worked the way it's supposed to. Someone took the scene in Sith where he gets cut apart, but they put in the death sound.
Try it.
What the hell is that?
It's Anakin's death
You and I
noise.
were playing through
Revenge of the
A New
Sith
Hope.
Part
You had not done it.
2005.
I had not done it. And when we get to when old Ben comes pretending to be a crate dragon, and they use like the
I know
Jared
that
and I
there's a
both looked at
clip.
each other and I was
Jared,
like,
please.
"Dang it, nah."
Jared, please.
Shout out to the
oh,
Bombad Boys. They describe it as Obi-Wan's NASCAR yell.
Please play that. Please play the yelling clip from the Alex Jones one. Yeah, it just reminded me of that.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, enough of that.
Is it weird that I
that
literally
was for the Dr.
said
Strange
"son of a
stream.
bitch" along
Gotta
with
play the
Jared when that
comparison.
clip rolled?
Theatrical versus Blu-ray. Here we go. This is theatrical.
It's an ambulance.
Theatrical.
How is it? That's a car alarm.
And here's Blu-ray.
Woo!
Ah,
It's like
Why?
NASCAR's.
Wow.
I was a hillbilly like 8 beers deep.
Shout
Anyway,
out to the crew from Bombad Gas.
shouts out Jerry and
I
Scotty.
love you guys.
Final thoughts.
Shout out
on
to Jerry and
everything.
Scotty, except for Elfrona, of course. Oh.
You shut the fuck up.
Stay bomb at everyone.
Jared, your final score.
I like this game. There are a lot of bugs. I think there's a handful of missed opportunities. But to quote Eddie and Tony Burback in the episode, in their review they did of this game, there comes a point where you realize that you've finally gotten the open world Star Wars game we've all been asking for years. And there also comes a point where you kind of forget it's Lego
Yeah.
too, with how immersive it is.
Right.
I'm feeling like a solid, just for scale. I can't give this lower than a B plus. I think keeping it for an A for the most part is the buggy experience I've had. But yeah, go follow Eli at OchiFan327 as himself, and then the Star Wars in the Galaxy podcast. I've been on there a few times. I love it. Like I said before, war has come to the Nerd Academy. The
War has come.
Triple threat.
I'm so excited to.
We going
debut
back to
these new questions.
1863.
Cool. If that's what you want, Connor.
I'm doing it.
I have the question docs like literally like sitting right here, and there's so many questions I want y'all to know about, but I just like Connor will tell you there's been so many times where I'm like, I want to tell you this question, but I know I can't.
You work
also,
very hard on these, and I'm excited for it, dude.
Thank you.
I'm terrified, but it'll be fun.
The fun part is I want to plug this again. Whoever wins of the three of you is not done. You have a match, whoever of the three wins of you in July against the winner of Michael McCoy and Alden Diaz, which is going to be another ridiculous match. It's that one's scary match because they've already started doing kayfabe on each other, and it's like a month and a half until their match.
You say that like I haven't started clowning on them, assuming that I will beat these two.
Yes, but like that makes sense because you have your match coming up. But like they've already started going off on each other.
Eli's like, yes, we know you're unhinged. Like we were aware.
No, my favorite thing is Michael keeps using that quizzes thing to talking in his kayfabe.
His Study Island Championship.
So I will admit to you, so I was on that and he did beat me. And those questions
in the Quizlet Bowl.
Yeah, those questions and Connor will tell you also were really strange.
Those were brutal.
There was one question which was again, there were questions that I never ask. There was a question like there was some collectible that was released for Christmas. Do you remember this, Connor?
No.
I only remember it because of how absurd it was. It was like, what did they release with a Christmas gift? And it was like an X-Wing. And everybody was like, how the hell are we supposed to know that?
It's almost like Scotty's actually bad at trivia and got lucky. Go follow Connor at Depa Banana and Star Wars Editor and Connor's other Star Wars podcast For the Republic. Go follow all of that. I'm kind of speed running this because I have to pee really badly. www.thenerdacademypodcast.com, where if you're enjoying us, you can donate to our Patreon page.
Give me $1.
Speaking of our patrons, thank you to our $10 alumnus, Nick Johnson and Paco, or as he's going by this month. Have you heard Paco's new name yet?
Maybe? What is it?
Actually, no, I think he were here when he changed it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Use code TNAP to get 10% off your order on SaveInfowars.com. That's TNAP to get 10% off your order at SaveInfowars.com. Thank you, Paco. Versus Series is back. We're doing a special episode that is going to be a little preview for Obi-Wan Kenobi, where Spencer and I are going to be speculating on who will win the rematch of the century, Obi-Wan Kenobi or Darth Vader. And then for our actual episode of the Versus Series that is only accessible to $5 and up patrons, we are going to be doing, Connor, get ready, Kylo Ren versus Cal Kestis.
Oh, what a great fight.
So
I'm tempted. The Fallen Jedi, or the Fallen Padawan versus the Jedi Killer.
So a Jedi Knight versus a punk bitch. Okay, that's what we're going with.
So Connor, I'm assuming that Kylo.
I had to. That was for my dad. My dad. My dad loves that SNL skit, so I had to do that for him because he loves that line specifically.
Connor, to be clear, Kylo's winning that one, right? No, regardless of era, Kylo's steamrolling Cal, right?
You wrote the stats for Cal last season.
Oh no, yeah, no. I think Kylo's gonna win that.
I was mostly just trying to annoy you.
No.
I know. Like I said, I don't make up my mind until we really sit down to talk through it. So, I was thinking about it, and I was like, they're kind of.
Yeah.
We'll get into it whenever it's time.
It depends
I'm
on
not
what
giving anybody
version
anything
you're
for free.
going with, though. I think.
Yeah. Oh,
Supreme
absolutely.
Leader Kylo.
Look.
It's always
Yeah.
like it's Cal by the end of the game versus Episode 9 Kylo Ren.
Yeah. Well, look. I here's the thing. Kyle does have an advantage, because when he gets like very grizzled and beaten, he can always just ask BD for a stim.
You know, we actually talked about BD1 in the stims whenever we used Cal last season, and like explaining like, okay, how exactly we're going to handle the stim situation. Because last season we did Cal versus Ezra.
I think stims canonically like aren't what they are in the game.
No, I know.
No,
I just
killers.
love, like, I made it a personal meme of mine. I just love every time I just press the up button. I just hear, need stim, BD, need stim.
Yeah. I feel like Cal developed a dependence by the end of the game.
He's a drug. He's
yeah.
a drug dealer in the.
I was gonna say, don't do drugs, kids.
A stim addict.
Yeah. So sign up for the Patreon for that. Also, $5 tier gets you access to the audio commentaries. This month is prequel month for Star Wars, so stay tuned for all of that. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you also very much to everybody who's been with us for 100 episodes of Knights of the Nerd Republic. And we are honored that you have joined us. And may the Force be with you always.
Stop! Move away from the cookie jar!